Our planet has spent more than 4 billion years creating places no architect could ever design. A waterfall that disappears into the sea. A cave glowing with natural blue light. A desert hiding an entire village. A river that suddenly bursts into impossible colors. None of these places were created by artists. None were generated by AI. And yet, they look too unbelievable to be real. Today, we're traveling across the planet to discover 10 of Earth's strangest places. Some are disappearing. Some only exist for a few weeks each year. And one is so isolated that only a handful of people have ever experienced it with their own eyes. Let's begin. 10. Lençóis Maranhenses, Brazil. Water shouldn't exist here. For hundreds of miles, all you can see are towering white sand dunes stretching toward the horizon. No forests. No rivers. No permanent lakes. Just endless waves of brilliant sand. Then something extraordinary happens. As the rainy season comes to an end, thousands of crystal-clear lagoons suddenly appear between the dunes. From the sky, the landscape no longer resembles a desert. Instead, it looks like a giant mosaic of mirrors reflecting the clouds above. This is Lençóis Maranhenses National Park, one of the most surreal landscapes on Earth. The greatest surprise is that this isn't technically a true desert. Unlike the Sahara, this region receives heavy seasonal rainfall. The massive dunes act like natural bowls, trapping fresh rainwater between their towering ridges. For only a few precious months, nature transforms the sea of sand into an endless collection of turquoise pools. People travel for days to witness the spectacle. Some swim in water so clear it almost disappears beneath them. Others climb the dunes at sunset, watching thousands of lagoons glow beneath golden light. But this miracle doesn't last. As temperatures rise, the water slowly evaporates. Week after week, the lakes shrink. Eventually, they disappear completely. The desert returns. Silent. Empty. Waiting for the rains to begin the cycle once again. Nature doesn't preserve this masterpiece. It recreates it. Every single year. And somehow, the next place isn't built on the surface at all. It's hidden beneath an entire mountain. 9. Sun Dong Cave, Vietnam. This isn't simply the world's largest cave. It's an entire hidden world. Step inside, and the daylight quickly disappears. Massive walls rise into darkness. A river echoes through the silence. Mist hangs in the air. Then, something almost impossible appears. Trees. Real trees. Growing deep underground. Sunlight pours through enormous collapsed skylights, creating pockets of rainforest inside the cave itself. Birds fly through openings in the ceiling. Clouds sometimes drift between the giant chambers. The environment has become so unique that scientists have discovered species living here that exist nowhere else. Sun Dong began forming millions of years ago, as underground rivers slowly carve through ancient limestone. Drop by drop, century after century, nature sculpted chambers so vast that entire city blocks could fit inside them. Standing in its largest passage, people often lose all sense of scale. Tiny explorers become little more than moving dots against walls of stone. Even photographs struggle to capture its true size. Reaching Sun Dong is an adventure of its own. Visitors spend days trekking through dense jungle, crossing rivers, and climbing over slippery boulders before ever reaching the entrance. Only a limited number of expeditions are allowed each year. Not because the cave can't hold more people, but because its fragile ecosystem deserves protection. Some places amaze us because they're beautiful, others because they're enormous. Sun Dong somehow manages to be both. Yet our next destination proves that size isn't always what makes nature unbelievable. Sometimes, it's simply color. 8. Lake Hillier, Australia. At first glance, it doesn't look natural. It looks edited. An intense bubblegum pink lake sits beside the deep blue ocean, separated only by a narrow strip of white sand. 3 colors, perfectly side by side, as if someone carefully painted the landscape. But every color is completely real. This is Lake Hillier, one of Earth's most mysterious bodies of water. Scientists believe its remarkable appearance comes from microscopic organisms that thrive in extremely salty conditions. Together, they create pigments that give the lake its unmistakable pink color. What's even stranger, the color doesn't disappear when the water is collected. Fill a bottle, and it remains pink. Unlike many colorful lakes around the world, Lake Hillier keeps its vibrant appearance throughout the year. Cloudy skies, bright sunshine, morning, evening, it hardly changes. Its remote location makes the experience even more surreal. Most visitors never stand beside its shoreline. Instead, they first see it from the window of a small aircraft, where the impossible contrast between pink water, white sand, and deep blue sea becomes unforgettable. It's one of those rare places where photographs almost seem fake, until you realize reality somehow looks even more extraordinary. But if you think a pink lake is difficult to believe, the next place makes it look as though the ocean itself has broken the laws of nature. 7. Thor's Well, United States. Every few seconds, the Pacific Ocean seems to disappear. A wave races toward the rocky shoreline. For a brief moment, everything goes quiet. Then, thousands of gallons of seawater are swallowed by a giant hole carved into the volcanic rock. Seconds later, the ocean erupts back into the sky. This is Thor's Well, one of the most mesmerizing natural phenomena on the Oregon coast. Locals often call it the drain pipe of the Pacific. Of course, the ocean isn't actually draining. Beneath the surface lies a collapsed sea cave connected to the powerful tides below. As each wave crashes into hidden tunnels, pressure forces the water upward, creating an endless cycle of disappearing and exploding water. Standing nearby, the illusion is almost perfect. It feels as though the earth itself is breathing. Beautiful, but dangerously unpredictable. One unexpected wave can easily sweep visitors across the slippery rocks. Every year, photographers travel from around the world hoping to capture the perfect eruption. Many leave with unforgettable images. Some leave soaked. Others quickly realize just how powerful nature can be. Thor's Well reminds us that even familiar oceans still hold illusions that seem impossible. But what you're about to see next doesn't move with the tides. Instead, it changes its entire appearance. 6. Cano Cristales, Colombia. For most of the year, this river looks completely ordinary. Clear water, smooth stone, quiet currents. Then, everything changes. Red, yellow, green, blue, black. An entire river suddenly begins glowing with color. This is Cano Cristales, often called the River of Five Colors. At first glance, it almost looks artificial. But the colors don't come from paint, or minerals, or pollution. They're created by a remarkable aquatic plant that lives on the riverbed. For only a short period each year, the conditions become perfect. Enough sunlight, enough water, the right temperature. When everything aligns, the plants burst into brilliant shades of crimson, combined with golden sand, emerald algae, dark rock, and crystal clear water. The river becomes one of Earth's greatest natural masterpieces. Miss the season by only a few weeks, and you'll never see the transformation. Nature doesn't perform this show every day. It waits until every condition is exactly right. No artist could recreate something this precise. No computer could improve it, because reality has already done the impossible. And somehow, our next destination proves that even ice can glow. 5. Vatnajökull Blue Ice Cave, Iceland. The walls shine like sapphire. The ceiling glows with an impossible blue light. Every step echoes through frozen silence. It feels less like entering a cave, and more like walking inside a giant crystal. Hidden beneath Europe's largest glacier, these remarkable ice caves exist for only a short time. Every winter, meltwater carves new tunnels beneath the glacier. As temperatures fall, those tunnels freeze into breathtaking chambers of dense blue ice. By summer, many of them collapse forever. The cave you visit today may never exist again. Its incredible color comes from centuries of compressed snow. As layer after layer is squeezed into solid ice, almost every color of sunlight is absorbed. Only blue light continues its journey through the frozen walls. The result is a cave that seems illuminated from within. No electricity, no hidden lights, only physics, working with extraordinary patience. Walking through these chambers, time feels suspended. Everything is silent. Everything is still. And yet, the glacier is constantly changing. Slowly, relentlessly, creating new wonders, while quietly erasing the old ones. Nature never repeats itself. And the next place on our journey proves that even entire villages can survive on the very edge of the world. 4. Cathedral, Faroe Islands. Some villages are built beside rivers. Others overlook valleys. This one stands at the very edge of the Atlantic Ocean. Behind a handful of colorful houses, a waterfall pours straight from the cliffs, falling nearly 100 meters before disappearing into the crashing waves below. This is Cathedral, one of the most breathtaking villages anywhere on Earth. For centuries, life here was almost completely cut off from the outside world. Towering mountains blocked every direction. The only way in was by hiking across steep mountain trails, or arriving by boat when the weather allowed. During harsh winters, families could remain isolated for weeks. Everything they needed, food, supplies, even news from neighboring villages, depended entirely on nature. Only in 2004 did a tunnel finally connect cathedral to the rest of the Faroe Islands. For generations before that, this tiny community survived at the very edge of the world. Today, the village is home to only a handful of residents. Yet its incredible setting has become one of Europe's most photographed landscapes. Standing on the cliffs, watching the waterfall plunge directly into the Atlantic, it's easy to understand why. It doesn't feel like a place designed for people. It feels like nature accidentally created paradise, then almost forgot it existed. But isolation doesn't always last for centuries. Sometimes, it lasts for millions of years. 3. Mount Roraima. Rising above the rainforest. Its cliffs look almost impossible. Nearly vertical. Almost perfectly flat across the top. Wrapped in clouds for most of the year. Mount Roraima doesn't resemble an ordinary mountain. It looks like an island floating above the jungle. Scientists call formations like this turquoise. Some of the oldest mountains on Earth. More than 2 billion years old. Long before dinosaurs walked the planet. These ancient plateaus were already standing above the surrounding landscape. Their towering cliffs became natural walls. Over millions of years, plants and animals living on the summit evolved in complete isolation. Many species found here exist nowhere else on Earth. Carnivorous plants, tiny black frogs, strange orchids. Life followed its own evolutionary path. Separated from the world below, explorers who finally reached the summit described it as entering another planet. Mysterious rock formations, crystal clear streams, endless fog, and landscapes unlike anything they had ever seen. Its incredible appearance even inspired Sir Arthur Conan Doyle's famous novel, The Lost World. Standing on Mount Roraima, it's easy to understand why. When clouds completely surround the plateau, the rainforest disappears. The modern world disappears. Only ancient stone remains. Some places remind us how beautiful Earth can be. Others remind us how old it truly is. But our next destination reveals something even more extraordinary. A place where people have learned to survive. Inside one of nature's most colorful landscapes. 2. Lake Retba, Senegal. At first glance, it doesn't look like water. It looks like liquid strawberry milk. A vast lake, glowing bright pink beneath the African sun. This is Lake Retba, one of the saltiest lakes on Earth. Its remarkable color comes from microscopic algae that thrive in the lake's extreme conditions. As sunlight becomes stronger, the pink grows even more intense. But beneath its beautiful surface, life here is anything but easy. The salt concentration is so high that workers coat their entire bodies with thick shea butter before entering the water. Without that protective layer, the salt would quickly damage their skin. Day after day, wooden boats glide across the lake. Men and women scrape thick layers of salt from the bottom, lifting heavy baskets by hand. Each journey provides a living, but demands tremendous physical effort. Beauty and hardship exist side by side. Visitors often arrive expecting a colorful natural wonder. They leave with something much deeper. A reminder that even the most breathtaking places on Earth can also be places of incredible resilience. But if Lake Retba already looks like another planet, our final destination goes even further. Because nothing there looks familiar at all. 1. Danakil Depression, Ethiopia. Nothing here looks familiar. Pools of acid shimmer in shades of emerald green. Sulfur fields glow bright yellow. Steam rises from cracks in the earth. The ground itself seems alive. At first glance, it feels less like Africa, and more like another planet. Welcome to the Danakil Depression. One of the most extreme landscapes anywhere on Earth. Temperatures here regularly climb above 50 degrees Celsius, making it one of the hottest inhabited places on the planet. Yet despite the relentless heat, life still survives. This extraordinary landscape exists because 3 massive tectonic plates are slowly pulling away from one another. As the Earth's crust stretches, magma rises closer to the surface. Minerals mix with boiling groundwater. The result is a landscape unlike anywhere else. Pools rich in sulfur, iron, and salt constantly change color as new minerals are deposited. No two visits ever look exactly the same. The Earth is literally reshaping itself beneath your feet. For centuries, the Afar people have crossed this unforgiving terrain, harvesting salt by hand, leading long camel caravans across one of the harshest environments known to humanity. Every journey demands extraordinary endurance. There are almost no trees, almost no shade, only heat, rock, and endless horizons. Scientists often compare Danakil to conditions that may once have existed on Mars. Its hostile environment has even helped researchers understand how life might survive on other planets. Standing here, it's difficult to believe you're still on Earth. The colors seem impossible. The heat feels unreal. Even the silence carries an unsettling weight. After traveling across deserts filled with lakes, hidden underground worlds, pink rivers, blue ice caves, ancient lost mountains, and villages perched above the ocean, our journey ends in a place that reminds us of one simple truth. Reality has always been far stranger than imagination. We often think we've already explored our planet, that every great mystery has already been discovered. But places like these tell a very different story. A desert that transforms into thousands of lakes. A cave hiding its own rainforest. A mountain isolated for billions of years. A lake painted bright pink by microscopic life. And a landscape so alien. It has become one of the closest things we have to another world. Nature doesn't need special effects. It doesn't need computer graphics. Given enough time, it creates wonders far beyond anything we could imagine. And somewhere, beyond the next mountain, beneath another glacier, or hidden deep inside an untouched forest, Earth is already creating its next masterpiece. One that perhaps no human has ever seen. If you enjoyed this journey through some of the most unbelievable places on our planet, be sure to subscribe to CurioVerse Wild. Because no matter how impossible reality may seem today, our world is always hiding something even more extraordinary. We'll see you in the next adventure.